Alright, what's going on everybody on YouTube? Griffin here coming back with another Sunday stock watch for you all. Obviously, as always, this is now the second week in a row that we do this show. For those of you that are new to me, I recently started doing day trading and swing trading, more day trading than swing trading just because of who I am as a person. I am not too patient. Obviously, it can pay off to be more patient, and for those of you that have jobs that just take up all of your time and you can't really stay on your phone, swing trading is definitely suggested for those of you. But for me, luckily at my job, I tend to kind of have lenience for now, at least when it comes to using cell phones and whatnot, so I can pretty much stay on my phone enough where I can day trade. So that's what I'm doing for myself with penny stocks for the time being, and that is really what I suggest for people that are starting out with not a lot of money. I talk about a whole bunch of stuff like that, as well as just achieving financial freedom and just breaking away from those JOBs, just over brokes as I like to call them. So if you're just into that kind of thing and wondering just how to make extra money, I don't talk about just the stock market. I talk also about Amazon, eBay, websites, just different kinds of businesses you can ultimately do from home. That way you can just live the life you want at the end of the day on your terms. So if you're into that kind of thing, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below. And for those of you that have stuck with me and subscribed recently, we've seen a huge spike in subscribers lately. I mean, at least for my standards, at least huge spike. I just recently had 230 subscribers in January, near the end of January into February, and we just hit 250 this morning, so I want to thank you guys so much for that ahead of time. I need to go ahead and rip this down and put the 250 milestone up. But yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for that. Can't wait to see what happens just going forward with this channel. Just trying to reach as many people as possible and just show people that you don't need some fancy degree. You don't need to go hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt to make money. You can literally win just by simply getting on your computer, doing some studying, doing some due diligence, doing some homework as if you were in school, using your money wisely, not buying stupid things when you see that first check from whatever it is you're doing, saving your money, investing your money in things that just grow you, grow your businesses, depending on how many you wish to do, how many ventures you wish to have, and just win at the end of the day. So again, thank you guys for that. But I don't want to go too far, just like waste all of your time with that. First and foremost, let me just make sure I have the chat popped up here. So I do, and we'll make sure that the stream is doing all right. It says stream health is okay, but not the best. But anyways, so pretty much to the whole point of the video, finally 2 minutes in. Again, wrote down a few stocks for you guys that I am looking out for. They're all penny stocks, so like always, I try to just mostly lay out penny stocks. I'll probably go ahead and talk about the inverse ETFs maybe for a minute as well, JNUG and JDST and all those good guys, but I really wasn't looking at them too much. They're kind of in a weird period right now with the whole tariff thing going on. Obviously, DGAS and UGAS, they're whole different spectrum of their own, and they're a little more expensive, so I don't really hit on those right now too much, just because I can't lie, I'm not investing in them. $27, $59, I'm starting with like 200 to 300, so I mean, I'm finally almost up to 300, but point being, I just don't have the money where it's really worth investing, especially when you're only looking at maybe like a 5% return. You all get what I'm saying. If you see my videos, you see where like I try to find the most maximum return, and that's what we're going to talk about right off the bat. I don't know why I have Acre pulled up. We are going to talk about Acre, but first one we're going to be talking about is STLY, for those of you that are wanting to follow me. So as you can see, the last day took a huge dip, looking to see if it's gonna bounce or if it's just gonna kind of level out here. That from this is very promising right here, because as you can see, there was a support down here roughly around what, 52, 53 cents, and it broke through that support, and it kind of had trouble at first bouncing off the support around 57, 58 cents. It got rejected, went back down, but then it finally near the end of Friday broke through that support, and it actually broke through like both supports, resistance. It broke through these two resistances for a split second, then it hopped back down, but it seems to be going right back on up. It's at 62 cents roughly right now. It says 60 up here, but when I look everywhere else, and even right over here, I was about to point with my hand, right over here it says 62 cents. So I don't know what this is all about. Definitely learning still as always, but I look for it. If it breaks through, I look for it. Let's go ahead and zoom out so you see what I'm talking about. Let's just go 5-day. As you can see, it had a huge sell-off here. What was that, Thursday evening and overnight hours, past market hours, post market hours, whatever you wish to call them. It had a huge sell-off. As you can see, it did have a high of 72, but it was roughly hovering around like 70 to 67 cents, pretty much between 68 and 70 cents, and then finally sold off, and right now it's a 62. So pretty much what I've seen is like the potential. I said if it can get back up to 67, I'm obviously going to wait for it to break through the resistance of about 62 to 63. If it hits 63, I'll keep an eye on it, because obviously it did reach above. It got up to like 64 and then it went right back down. So I'm going to see if it can get up to like 64. If it gets up to 64, that's where I put that I'll invest. Or if it gets rejected and somehow like goes back down near the support of 52, then I'll look to see if it'll bounce off that 52 support or even the 57 support, see if it'll bounce off of it and hop in around like 58 cents, or if it goes all the way. I don't see it going all the way down below the 57 cent support, but if it bounces and goes back to 58, I'll probably hop in to try to get like a 4-cent return, because 4 cents would be roughly, what would that be roughly? Let's pull out the calculator here. I don't know why I didn't have it pulled up already, but if I invested 58 cents on a 4-cent return, that's the wrong one. A 4-cent return divided by a 58-cent investment is almost a 7% return, guys. 6.9% when you round up. 6.8, 6.9, whichever you wish. So, I mean, that's a really good return, and obviously if you get in around 64 and ride it up to 67 to 70 or beyond, because if you go further back, I believe it did get higher than 72. Let's look at the 180. Well, it's actually trending down, so that must have been why I put my potential 67. Pretty much like what I'm hoping for, in all honesty. In a perfect world, obviously, it would go past this resistance and just keep on flying, right? But I don't really see that happening. What I hope for, personally, is for it to actually get rejected and kind of take another sell-off, like have another sell-off and bounce off the resistance at 52, just because there's a higher ROI. Because if I wait to get in until like 63 or 64 cents and even sell it off at say 66, or let's say even 68 cents, say it gets up to like 68, I'm not seeing as high of a ROI versus 4 pennies on 64 cents isn't as high of a ROI on 4 pennies at 53 to 54 cents. You get what I'm saying there? So either way, it's one to definitely be on the lookout for. I do think it probably will go ahead and bust through this resistance just by looking at the last few hour trend. But the RSI does show that it's overly bought for sure. As you can see right here, every time it got above the RSI, boom, went back down. Got close to the RSI here, boom, went back down. And now right here, we're hovering pretty high above the RSI. So if that trend continues, expect another little sell-off. So, I mean, we're just going to, and even way back here, I'm not going to say way back here, same day, but got up here, sold off. So, I mean, it just depends. One, definitely keep a look out for sure. And MACD as well, it's pretty high. This is when you definitely want to sell, usually when you're looking at the MACD, exponential, whatever. But yeah, like I said, want to just definitely keep an eye on. I'm not saying invest right now by any means. I'm not even telling you guys what to invest in. These are just stocks that I'm looking out for. It doesn't mean that I'm even investing. There's ones that I say like I'm looking out for, and then I don't even touch them for the week. I'm just saying simply at least keep an eye on this one. Look at if there's any news events coming out on it. This is Stanley Furniture Company. I don't think I've heard of them actually. I might have, but I don't know. If you guys have heard of them, let me know. But I mean, it has some decent volume in it too. The volume's not like absolutely horrible or anything, but I don't know. Like I said, it's just one to keep an eye on. I would at least wait to see if it gets rejected or breaks through, or to see if it has a huge sell-off in pre-market hours into the early morning. Usually what I tend to notice with these penny stocks, they tend to have a little decent sell-off in the morning, early. Sometimes in pre-market it'll go up, and then when the market opens, it has a huge sell-off. So I mean, just look out for it. Don't rush at the end of the day. Do your due diligence. Do your own homework and make your own decision. Another one I'm keeping an eye on is ATOS. Oh, if I can spell it there. Atos, whatever you wish to call it. As you can see, had a sell-off here at around 69 to 70 cents. Sold off all the way down to what, about 64, and then it just kept trending down to about 62. And I was going to get in here at 62. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. I was going to get in roughly like right here around 63. I was watching it. I was like, it's not really moving. It didn't really move for like an hour or so, around 63. So I was like, it's consolidating like pretty well here. Or I think that's the right word, consolidating, where like it kind of just hangs out in the same around the same range for a long period of time. I was like, it's doing pretty well here. I don't really see it dipping, but let me go and wait on it. Then I saw it dip, and I don't know if that discouraged me or what. Obviously, I had a lot going on Friday with my great-grandmother and everything. I wasn't like actively trading or anything. But what was I saying? Yeah, so I seen this and I just didn't get in. Now I wish I did, because obviously if I would have gotten in like 62 cents and rode it up, I mean, I would have had, what, about a 5-cent return at the end of the day, maybe even more, 5 to 6 cent return. Not huge profit, but I mean 5 cents at 62 cents is what? I did it wrong again. I keep messing my math up today. Divided by 62 cents is an 8% profit, guys. 8% right there. So I mean, still missed out on some profits, but I mean, it's not a huge deal at the end of the day. Anyways, while I'm like looking out for it, look, it got all the way up to 84 cents, had a huge sell-off here after market hours on, what was that, Thursday and Friday? Yeah, Thursday and Friday had a huge sell-off. The only thing that I'm slightly worried about here is it seems to be trending low again, but as you can see, it's not a huge, I'm not worrying about it too much, because as you can see, it started going up, went down, started going up, went down. So I'm just going to ride it out, see how it does pre-market hours, see how it does at the beginning of market hours, say like the first 30 minutes or so. I'm going to try to ride it out, because as you can see here, I'll go ahead and zoom in on it. As you can see here, it looks like it might have finally reached its temporary low point, aka like new support. There seems to be a support. The VWAP shows support around 61. I think there's a support roughly around like 62 to 63 cents personally, because as you can see, it bounced here. It looks like it might be trying to bounce here as well. That's why, like I said, I'm going to watch it pre-market hour, see how it does probably the first hour of the day, and I'll make a decision from there. If it bounces and goes above the support on the resistance at 64 cents, around 65 cents, then I'll go ahead and jump in. If it goes up, gets rejected, I'll watch it and see how far it goes down and try to hop in at the bounce, at wherever it bounces. Hopefully it will bounce at 61. If it bounces 61, I'll probably get in at 62 and see if I can ride it up to about 65. Because that'd be about a 3 to 4 cent return, which would still be roughly what, 6 to 7%, somewhere in there, right? So I mean, that's a good profit margin, guys. What I try to do whenever I'm looking at penny stocks now is, I was looking just for a straight up profit. As you guys know, like I had like a rough kind of few days, and I was kind of, I don't know if I showed it on camera necessarily, but I was kind of just, it was wearing me down a little, because I was like, what the hell? I feel like I'm doing my homework, I'm doing my due diligence, like why am I losing money? But that's just part of the game at the end of the day. You're going to lose money, but guess what? As long, you only lose money if you sell in red. If you sell in red, obviously you lose money. Duh. Like, I lost $15 on, what was it, Thursday? But then Friday, I made like 20. So, I mean, I was back in the green big time. I mean, I saw, what, about 6% on the day, and I didn't make a single trade. So, I mean, just do your homework at the end of the day. Just look back to the basics. When in doubt, just go back to basics. Buy low, sell high. So, I mean, just don't, because it would have been real easy for me, especially with Acre. I'll talk about Acre here in a minute. Got down to 55 cents when I had some investments at some shares at 73. So, I mean, that was a huge loss right there. But I knew big picture. That's more of a swing trade, which I don't like swing trading penny stocks. But some of the pharmaceuticals you definitely need to. We'll talk about pharmaceuticals as well here in a minute. And I'll probably have a whole video on why I love pharmaceutical penny stocks. But their pharmaceuticals tend to be more of like a swing trade anyways, with earnings report, pending FDA approvals. There's all these other things that go into pharmaceuticals. There's so many chances of quote unquote pump and dumps. Pump and dumps are obviously like illegal. It's when people pump up a stock and just post all about it, false information essentially to get people to buy, and then when people buy and it rides up, they sell their like millions of shares off, and then everybody loses money. That's like totally illegal. But point being, just I kind of got off on a little tangent there, but point being, just just don't lose confidence in yourself. Like, as long as you know you did the homework, you read the chart, you understand the trend that's going, when you think it's going to bounce, and like you just stick to your limits. That's why I love setting. I haven't set any on Atos yet, because I think I ran out of time, because this was the last stock I was looking at on Friday, or yesterday actually. But that's why I love setting alerts for myself, because I know when I set alert, that's where I either want to buy, want to watch, or just want to ditch it, like don't even think about it altogether. Because I'll probably set an alert down here below, because if it hits below 60 cents, I'm not going to worry about it. I mean, like, I'll still keep it on my watch list and see where it goes and see where it bounces. But if it goes below this like old support, of like 61 to 60 cents, I'll probably just say forget about it. It's not doing what I thought it was going to do. Move on, go on to another stock, like I said. But then I'll set an alert up here. That way, if it hits like above 65 cents, I'll go ahead and hop in more than likely, because if I can ride it from 65 up to 69, 68, somewhere around there, still making profit. So, I mean, it's just doing the homework, knowing, setting limits for yourself. Like, okay, if I buy here and it drops, I don't want to lose no more than 2 cents per share or something. You just have to set those limits for yourself and stick to them, because if you don't, if you let your feelings determine your trades, you're going to lose more times than you win. So just always remember that, guys. But Atos, again, another one to just keep an eye out on. I already explained why. And then obviously the one that I just can't seem to get away from, Acre. I really hope for you guys that you got in roughly around here when it was around 55, 56 cents. It gave you guys a whole day, so I really hope that some people would have ran from this whenever it took this dip, but a lot of people took advantage of it, and they probably already cashed out by now. I believe they did, actually, because there was a little sell-off mid-morning with Acre, and then it kind of just hovered around 66, 67 cents all day, and there's a new resistance roughly around 68. This VWAP shows 69, but 90% of people that have been actively investing in Acre are saying around 68, and it makes sense, because if you look here, I mean, every time it hit around 68 cents, boom, sell off, boom, sell off. So I mean, 68 to 67 is definitely the new resistance for sure. Support is roughly around, I'd say, 66 cents. Everyone was saying, oh, if it gets down to 60, I'm going to invest. I was like, it's not going back down to 60, bud. Like, you'll be lucky to get it down here at 64. I think the support is now at 66, personally. That's where, like I say, you just got to do your own due diligence. Actually, the VWAP, I didn't even see this line here. It shows it around, about 66, 67 cents. So, yeah, I mean, if you can get it below 67 cents, I would hop all over it personally. I'm going to have some more money coming available, and if I'm going to kind of play it by day with Acre, because obviously Acre has burned me some, and then I'm cashing out. Acre has been like my little child when it comes to investing. Like, it's the first one that I started investing in. I've literally had it ever since I started trading, and I mean, I've just definitely rode through one hell of a roller coaster with it the last week and a half, because I mean, just look. I mean, it has just gone all over the place. It had a high of 74 all the way down to 55. For those of you that don't know, like I said, I invested in Acre, some at 73, thinking it was going to bounce up to 85, and then obviously I rode it all the way down lately. Like I said, it was hard to just not get discouraged and just know that in the end it's going to pay off. You only lose if you sell low, but I can't lie, when it hit 55, I was kind of freaking out, but stuck to my guns. I knew I wasn't going to sell for that huge of a loss, for damn sure. I actually loaded up some. Like I said, I bought some all the way down, and now going up, I'm actually already to the point where like I'm zeroed out. Like, I think I'm to the point where like I've lost under $1 if I were to sell. So that's really encouraging. Like I said, I plan on selling at 70 or above. That's why I have alerts up there. I'm actually starting to think I'm going to wait till 75. But like I said, I'm no fortune teller. I'm just going to ride it out and see what happens. However, if it does for some reason come back down to 64, I'm going to wait for it to bounce. And if it gets up to 65, I'll invest. Or if it goes ahead and finally bursts through this 68, 69 cent resistance, I'll probably go ahead and buy a few more around like 71, because it did hit 70 a couple times throughout the day. So I'll probably wait until it hits 71, and then I'll probably go ahead and buy a few more. Some people, I know that's stupid, because you're missing out on like 3 to 4 cents profit, which equals to roughly about 5 to 6% in this case. Maybe even more, maybe roughly 7, but between 5 to 7% profit. I know I'm missing out on that, but I do believe that it's probably going to get up to like 75 cents at the minimum. So, I mean, I'll still be making roughly 4 to 6% at the end of the day. So, I'm not too worried about it. It's just me setting my limits, where I want to buy, where I want to sell at the end of the day. You all can do whatever you want. Like I said, I'm in no way telling you guys what you should invest in, where you should invest in at. I'm just showing you guys my thought process, what penny stocks and what stocks in general that I'm looking out for. And I'm pretty much letting you guys do your own homework and just pretty much giving you guys ideas. Like, you can type in Acre on any platform, TD Ameritrade or Fidelity or whichever, I mean, whatever you like to use. I'm just giving you guys, if you want, you can literally copy all my watch lists and just go do your own homework. I mean, no one's stopping you. Like, The information is for the seeker at the end of the day. If you want to win, you will take any information you can get and go run away with it and go make money. Because guess what? If you got in here at 55 and you'd have sold off at 67, what was that? 12-cent profit off of a 55-cent investment. 21, almost 22%, guys. So, I mean, like I said, not telling you guys where to invest, not telling you when to invest, anything like that. But I've proven so far with the very little amount of time that I've been doing this to have found some pretty decent penny stocks, to say the least. I'm not saying I'm an expert whatsoever, for damn sure. I've made a few mistakes, mostly with stocks like I didn't do homework on and just went with what the idiots on Stock Twits say. But it's just learn as you go. Have trust and belief in yourself and your abilities to do this. It's not rocket science. It's just being able to read a chart, read candles, read these RSI and MACDs. The RSI I've kind of learned can kind of be deceiving because the RSI will adjust based on just how it keeps breaking through these resistances. As you can see here, let's go ahead and just like zoom in on the last day. The RSI was pretty accurate, but at one point it was saying like right here, it was saying the RSI was showing that it was like way up here, like up around 65. But then as it kind of just kept going up, once it hit like this 68, this RSI like kind of, it adjusts throughout the day, I've kind of noticed. And so does the MACD. The MACD not so much, but the RSI will adjust, especially if it just keeps breaking through resistances. So I mean, it's just interpreting everything at the end of the day and just doing your own homework. Like I said, I will stress that as much as possible as long as I keep doing this stuff. Just do your own homework, do your own due diligence. Don't rely on a YouTuber or someone selling some course that will supposedly make you rich off of the stock market. I mean, you have to do your own work. I mean, no one's going to say, here's the stocks to invest in, now go throw some money in it and you're going to be rich tomorrow. I mean, that's, if someone's telling you that, they're lying and they're trying to get your money. I mean, that's just straight up. Let me go ahead and hop in the chat and get a drink real quick. See, no questions currently or anything. I'm probably going to wrap this up soon, but I just wanted to, like I said, Sunday stock watch, show you guys a few penny stocks and maybe a few inverse ETFs that I'm currently looking at. See if anybody's watching. We still got one watching currently. It's actually snowing out here. That's insane. Mid-March and it's snowing outside. That's ridiculous. But, yeah, so pretty much those are the penny stocks that I'm watching. If you want to hear them again, it's STLY, ATOS, Acre. If you want to know their current prices, STLY is around 60, 62 cents. ATOS is around 63 cents. Acre is around 66, 67 cents. And then, like I said, go do the homework, guys. The stuff is out there for you. The information is for the seeker. But let's go ahead and look at, man, I can't get this cough to go away. Let's look at JDST and JNUG. So JDST, I haven't been keeping up with JDST lately, in all honesty. But as you can see here, there was a sell-off from 59 to 52. Let me go ahead and go further back to see what the current trend is the last 20 days. So it had a pretty big sell-off for about a week from 71 to 48. And it seems that JDST might be trying to trend back up. But it's definitely one that you could day trade for sure, it looks like. Because if you would have bought in here at 53.9 to 54 and waited till the next day and sold off at 58, almost 59, you'd have made what, a $4 to $5 profit. So let's say you make just a $4 profit off of a 50, what was it? Let's just say 54 off of a $54 investment. 7%, guys. I mean, if you got the money for these inverse ETFs, I would definitely suggest hopping in them. I mean, there's chances for huge profits, especially day or even swing trading, because if you'd have held out on this, you would have got, let's go ahead and zoom in right here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Okay, so if you'd have got in at this lowest point, let's not even say lowest point, so you got in at 52 and you sold off here around 58. 625 profit, guys. So 625 divided by your $52 investment, 12% in what? That wasn't even, that was less than a day. Because, I mean, I was going into, well, I guess, yeah, it was about a day. So, yeah, I mean, you're talking one whole day, holding it after hours, riding it up, and then selling for a 10 to 12% profit, guys. I mean, 10 to 12% is huge. Imagine getting what was that dollar amount profit? It was 625. Imagine having $1,000 like invested into that, or 1,000 shares. I mean, obviously that takes money. 1,000 times 52 is what, 52 grand. So I mean, you're talking some big money at that point. But say you had 1,000 shares and you made 625 off each one. That is like what, $6,250 of profit. I mean, you're talking a whole month of income for a lot of people. Like probably more income than a lot. I know it's like triple my income. I don't know about your alls, but I mean, that's just why I say try to just keep building your account, keep on building it. Don't pull out unless if you absolutely have to. That is why I always say, you probably can't see it, but over here I have just like my baby steps to success. They're actually made by like Dave Ramsey, and his are more like financial, but I always say, and most people say, you should have some sort of emergency fund. That's a whole nother topic, but I say to just have like 2 months at least, 2 to 3 months worth of expenses. That way you will not have to pull out of your investment account, because if you can just keep compounding that baby over time, you will get to a point where you're just making so much money. And I mean, that's obviously the goal. The goal is to have fun, make money, and just have freedom at the end of the day. That's the whole point of this channel. That's the whole point of why I'm investing in the stock market, is just to have the power, have the freedom, have the money, just do whatever I want, have as much fun as I want. And I mean, just live the life I want at the end of the day. And I think that's what everybody wants. So, I mean, hopefully I gave you just a little bit of motivation. I mean, I just always get motivated when I see these, because, I mean, now, would you invest in this? Probably when you see this huge sell-off. Some people know, because it scares them. They're going to think that's going to keep going down. But, I mean, if you would have just studied the chart, you would see that, okay, it went up, it took a dip, it went up, took a dip. So you try to catch it at the dip, wait for it to bounce. I'm not saying buy it at the lowest point, like 51.98 or wherever it was. Wait for it to bounce, confirm that there is in fact a bounce, buy it around 53, and then ride that baby up overnight. I mean, it's just finding the right trend that fits you and just going with it. I mean, you're going to have to take some chances. I'm not saying gamble, but I mean, sometimes you have to go with your gut and your brain and just take your heart completely out of it. I mean, with the stock market, you cannot have feelings. I mean, I know it's hard. I've had firsthand experience with it, but you just have to ride it out and trust your instincts at the end of the day. But let's go ahead and look at JNUG as well real quick before we go ahead and hop off of here. JNUG, let's see how it's been trending. I'm trying to see if JDST is trending up again, or if they're both kind of just flattening out. So it's kind of hard to tell by the 180 day. Let's go to 20 day. So JNUG also had a sell-off, so I can't really tell in all honesty, because they're both doing about the same pattern. So JNUG and JDST are both probably good potential day trades. I know I did mention in a previous video that I did day trade JNUG. It was probably, I think, roughly back in here, because I remember I bought it around $13.15 and sold it off for like around $14, and I made like 4% or something. Nothing huge or anything, but I mean profit at the end of the day. So I mean, JNUG, JDST are ones you can definitely day or swing trade for now. JNUG looks like it has kind of stalled out here lately, but look, if you'd have caught it, if you have after hour or pre-market or after hours where you can trade other than market hours, and you got in roughly around the bounce here at like 13.25, sold off in the morning, or yeah, 10 in the morning at 13.72, you're talking what, $1.50 profit on a, how much did I say, 13.25? Yeah, off of a 13.25 investment. That's 11%. Like I said, just finding what works for you. I actually have a mark here. I think that was for when I was trying to sell last week. But like I said, just find stuff that works for you. I have a video over what inverse ETFs are. If you guys are interested in that, I'll probably put it at the end of this video once it like uploads to YouTube, because after you do a live stream, it has to like completely download and upload to YouTube, something like that. So I'll go back in and edit and put that at the end of this video. Or if you want, you can go to like my playlist, just called like stock market trading, I believe is what I named it, and there should be a video in there called what are inverse ETFs, or you can just scroll through my videos. It's like last week I uploaded it, and I go into detail on like what inverse ETFs are, and I believe I list off like 8 different inverse ETFs. So I mean, that video would be helpful for you all that do not know what inverse ETFs are but are interested in them. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and check the chat real quick, see if we got anything going on in there. Don't have nothing going on. See if we got anybody even watching. Still got one person watching, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, everybody. I'm getting like thirsty. Sorry about this. Got a lot of stuff going on this afternoon and evening. It's Selection Sunday for those of you that are basketball fans, NCAA basketball fans. I know it's not like a huge sport yet, really. I mean, not yet. I mean, it is, but it's not. But for those of you that watch college basketball, you know that Selection Sunday is coming up here in about an hour or so. So I'm going to go watch that and relax and kick back with my girlfriend's family for a little bit this evening and get back to shooting some more videos for you guys. But again, thank you guys so much for the 250 subscribers. I cannot do any of this without you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I just can't wait to see what just keeps on going forward this year. We've gained like more subscribers in March than we gained in like January and February altogether. So definitely encouraging for sure. Like I said, just trying to reach as many people and affect as many lives as possible. That's just the goal at the end of the day. But like I said, thank you guys again so much. If you are new to me and you watch this whole video, you're awesome. And definitely start hitting that subscribe button below. If you do like the video and you took some information from it and you did like it, definitely make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate that. And like I said, I'll try once this video uploads to put the inverse ETF video at the bottom in one of these corners here, wherever my face is not. Or you can just go back and look through it. And then I also have the book, The Compound Effect, down in the description box. That's like my favorite book for just kind of teaching you because I always talk about the power of compound interest, especially when it comes to investing. That book will like go in huge detail and just blow your mind really when it comes to investing on like why you need to start now. Even if you're not looking like day trade, swing trade, just looking for like retirement investing. That book will really change your just aspect and really just change your life at the end of the day. And it's a cheap book. It's like 10, 12 bucks. It's the cheapest one that I could find. That's why I put it in my description box. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there making profits and achieving financial freedom. And I'll see you guys in the next video.